Welcome to Spelling Bee Ninja, where we dive into exciting educational topics to expand your knowledge and skills. If you're passionate about learning and exploring new subjects, hit that subscribe button and join our vibrant community. Every episode is crafted to empower you with valuable insights and understanding. Today, we're unraveling the fascinating world of area and perimeter, tools that not only power math classes but also shape our everyday lives. Let's begin by understanding what area and perimeter are. Area measures the space inside a shape, while perimeter measures the distance around the outside. Picture the area as the lawn inside a fenced yard, while the perimeter is the fence itself. Why are these concepts so important? Every day, whether you know it or not, you're likely using them in various practical situations. Understanding area and perimeter can help you with home projects, gardening, and even sports. For example, when you're carpeting a room or planning a garden layout, knowing how to calculate area helps you figure out how much material you need. This is crucial for avoiding overspending or running out of supplies. Throughout this lesson, we're going to explore several real-world contexts where both area and perimeter play vital roles. First, let's talk about perimeter. The perimeter is defined as the total distance around the outside of a shape. To find the perimeter, you simply add up the lengths of all the sides. For a rectangle, you can use the formula P equals 2 times the length plus the width. For a square, it's P equals 4 times the length of one side. This simple math allows you to tackle a variety of everyday problems. And then imagine constructing a fence around your yard. You'll need to calculate the perimeter to determine how much fencing material is required. Fun fact, the term perimeter comes from Greek, meaning to measure around. So it literally involves measuring the distance encircling a shape. And now, let's move on to the area. Area indicates how much space is covered within a shape. It's typically measured in square units, like square feet or square meters. Imagine if perimeter represents the fence, then area represents the grassy space inside the fence. And you use area in many situations, from calculating the space needed for carpets and tiles to determining how much paint you need to cover a wall. The formula for calculating area can differ depending on the shape. For rectangles, it's length times width. For squares, it's side squared. For triangles, the area is found by taking 1/2 of the base multiplied by the height. Understanding these formulas allows you to solve practical measurement problems effectively. And now, how do we find perimeter in real-world scenarios? Finding the perimeter is straightforward. You start by measuring each side of the shape and then simply add those lengths together. For example, if you have a rectangular garden that is 10 feet long and 4 feet wide, the perimeter would be 2 times 10 plus 2 times 4, which equals 28 feet of fencing to go around your garden. And practical examples abound. Measuring the trim needed for a room involves summing the lengths of all the walls, or determining how far you'd walk around a park track involves knowing its perimeter. Even professional race car drivers use these calculations to strategize their fuel usage based on the perimeter of different racetracks. And then switching gears to finding area in everyday life, this is another essential task. You calculate the area based on the shape you are working with. For instance, if you want to find out how much carpet you need, you'd measure the length and width of the room and multiply those numbers to find the area. If you have a rectangular living room that's 12 feet long and 10 feet wide, you'll calculate it as 12 times 10, giving you 120 square feet of carpet needed. And then area calculations extend beyond flooring. You could estimate how much paint is necessary to cover the walls of your house by determining their area. It's a skill that serves you well in home improvement, gardening, or even construction projects. Just as painters need to measure wall area to gauge paint requirements, gardeners need to measure garden plots to ascertain how much soil or seeds to buy. And understanding when to use area versus perimeter is crucial for accurately completing our projects. Use perimeter when measuring boundaries or outlines like fencing or the edge of a picture frame. Use area for when you're measuring surfaces like flooring or garden beds. A good rule of thumb is that perimeter accounts for edges and borders, while area deals with surfaces and spaces. And in construction, both area and perimeter are tools of the trade. Builders rely heavily on these calculations. For example, they use perimeter to outline the foundation of a building, while area tells them how much concrete they need to pour for a floor or how many tiles to purchase for a bathroom. Even small miscalculations can lead to big problems, like wasted materials or costly errors. And did you know that the largest building in the world by floor area is the New Century Global Center in China? It covers over 18 million square feet. This enormity demands precise calculations for all types of materials, from flooring to climate control. And in turning to gardeners, they also depend heavily on area and perimeter when planning and maintaining their gardens. They calculate perimeter to design garden beds and install paths. Area helps them know how much soil, mulch, seeds, or fertilizer they'll need to plant efficiently. For instance, gardeners often calculate the area of their vegetable plots to decide how many plants they can fit, ensuring they have enough space for each plant to grow. And fashioning the perfect garden involves meticulous measuring for efficiency and effectiveness. And now let's take a look at the role of area and perimeter in the field of interior design. Interior designers use these measurements when creating spaces that are both functional and beautiful. They calculate the perimeter of walls to determine how much wallpaper or paint is required. For flooring, they measure the area to ensure they know how much material needs to be ordered. Understanding these measurements helps designers organize furniture and ensure that spaces are livable and aesthetically pleasing. And interestingly, many professional designers use specialized software to assist them with these calculations, but they still need to apply their mathematical skills to validate the results and make decisions efficiently. And next, sports utilize area and perimeter in surprising ways too. In sports, the perimeter refers to the boundaries of fields and courts, influencing everything from the game's dynamics to strategic planning. Consider a basketball court or a soccer field, the dimensions dictate the playing style and strategy. In track and field events, the perimeter determines race lengths, and in baseball, the field's dimensions can affect gameplay. Understanding these measurements not only aids athletes in planning their moves but also enhances fans' enjoyment of the games. And lastly, area and perimeter are crucial skills for everyone to learn. We encounter measurement tasks in our daily lives, whether we are laying out a room, planning a garden, working on a school project, or even budgeting. Mastering these concepts builds confidence and equips us to make better decisions based on accurate measurements. Numerous studies show that comfortable and confident individuals tend to manage their finances and projects more effectively. And as we wrap up this exploration of area and perimeter, remember that understanding these concepts can enhance your life in countless ways, from home improvement projects to everyday problem solving. Take a moment to reflect on how often you use these skills without even realizing it. The more we practice these concepts, the more capable we become in navigating our environments. In today's lesson, we explored the essential concepts of area and perimeter and how they apply to real life. We learned that perimeter is all about measuring the distance around shapes, while area measures the space within them. We discovered how these calculations can help us in home projects, gardening, construction, and even sports. Knowing when to use area or perimeter is a vital skill that aids us in making practical decisions. Ensuring we understand these concepts enriches our everyday lives and prepares us for future challenges. So next time you measure a room or design a garden, remember the power of area and perimeter. Thank you for joining us on this educational journey through the world of area and perimeter. We hope you gained valuable insights into these real-world applications of mathematics. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to Spelling Bee Ninja for more engaging educational content. Together, let's continue expanding our knowledge base.